All right, Patriots Nation, take a deep breath because what we just witnessed was something special. You could feel it from the very first snap, the energy, the hunger, the spark that has been missing for weeks. And at the center of it all, a handful of rookies who played like veterans, who played like they've been waiting their entire lives for this exact moment. This wasn't just a regular season game. This was a statement. The New England Patriots aren't done. They're not washed. They're rebuilding with purpose, with fire, and the young guys just told the rest of the league to start paying attention. And let's be honest, there's one name we all need to start saying with a little extra respect right now. Tavon Henderson. Finally, after weeks of watching from the sideline, waiting, learning, staying ready, the kid got his chance and absolutely lit it up. 14 carries, 147 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a couple of runs that felt like they came straight out of a highlight reel. Patriots fans have been begging to see what he could do, and man, did he deliver. You could feel the shift the moment he touched the ball. Every carry had intention. Every step looked faster, stronger, more confident. This was the Tavon Henderson show, and it couldn't have come at a better time. The craziest part? It took 10 weeks for this breakout to happen. 10 weeks of fans wondering why this guy wasn't getting more snaps, why his number wasn't being called. But maybe, just maybe, this was the perfect moment. The Buccaneers came in tough, rested after a bye week, playing at home, ready to push their record to 7-2. Instead, they got a front-row seat to Henderson's coming-out party. The first big run came early in the third quarter, 55 yards of pure speed and vision. You could see the hole open, and he just exploded through it. No hesitation, no dancing around. Straight down the field, slicing through defenders like they weren't even there. By the time he crossed midfield, you could already feel that no one was going to catch him. Next-gen stats clocked him at 22 miles per hour on that play. 22. That's not just fast for a rookie, that's elite speed across the entire league. 5th fastest run by any player this season. For a guy who's barely been on the field, that's mind-blowing. Then came the 70-yard touchdown. The house call, the moment that sealed the win. You could see the confidence in his stride, but you could also see the discipline. As he neared the end zone, he actually looked to the sideline to check with the coaches if they wanted him to go down instead of scoring. That right there tells you everything you need to know about this kid. It's not about stats for him. It's about doing what's best for the team. That's the kind of mentality that defines the Patriots culture. And it's not like this game was all sunshine and smooth sailing. Henderson had to step up because Ramondre Stevenson, still dealing with that toe injury, couldn't go. Terrell Jennings started the first drive, but after that knee injury, it was next man up, and that next man was ready. Henderson took the opportunity and turned it into a masterpiece. But you can't ignore one thing. Outside of those huge plays, the running game was still rough. You take away those 2 big runs, and the numbers drop fast. The offensive line is still struggling to open lanes up the middle. Jennings had just 4 carries for 5 yards before going down, and even Henderson's shorter runs were getting stuffed early. Still, when you've got a guy who can change the game in one play, everything feels possible. And here's where it gets interesting. When Stevenson comes back, what happens? Do you stick with the hot hand in Henderson? Do you go back to the veteran? Because right now, the rookie has momentum. He's confident, he's clicking with Drake May, and he's proving that he deserves to be in that rotation for good. It's a good problem to have, but it's going to spark a lot of debate. Speaking of Drake May, this kid doesn't check down much, does he? He loves the deep ball, and showed again today. That's probably why Henderson didn't get used much in the passing game. Just 1 catch for 3 yards. But when your quarterback is slinging it downfield like that, it's hard to complain. The Patriots were attacking. They weren't just trying to survive. And when you see the offense playing with that kind of confidence, you know something's changing behind the scenes. One of the most underrated moves of the game, putting Q's Tonga at fullback. Whoever made that call deserves a raise. That kind of creativity is what's been missing from this offense. Tonga's athleticism at that position added an extra layer of physicality that we haven't seen all year. You could see it pay off, especially on that final touchdown run. He opened the hole, Henderson hit it perfectly, and boom, game over. That's old-school Patriots football right there. Power, discipline, execution. But what makes Henderson's breakout even more special is how he handled it after the game. When reporters asked him about the performance, he didn't make it about himself. He said it felt good, but he also talked about staying grounded, about his faith, about learning how to handle the ups and downs of the NFL. You could hear maturity in his voice. That's not something you fake. That's the kind of mindset that keeps you successful long-term. And you could see how proud his teammates were of him. After the game, guys were patting him on the helmet, cheering for him on the sideline. It was genuine. This wasn't just a big game for Henderson. It was a big game for the locker room. Let's not pretend everything's fixed, though. The Patriots' running attack overall still needs work. They're not consistent enough between the tackles. And without those explosive plays, the ground game would have looked flat again. But the difference today was confidence. Every time Henderson lined up in the backfield, the defense had to respect it. That opened up space for May and the receivers to operate. It changed the rhythm of the entire offense. That's what a playmaker does. And honestly, that's what makes this whole thing exciting. You can feel the shift happening with this team. It's not just about scraping out wins anymore. It's about watching these young players grow together, finding chemistry, finding identity. Henderson, Kyle Williams, Craig Woodson, they're building something here. You can sense it in the way they celebrate, the way they communicate on the field. It's the early foundation of a new era in Foxboro. For years, Patriots fans have been waiting for signs of life, for that next generation to step forward and say, "We got this." And this week, we finally saw it. We saw young players who aren't just filling in gaps. They're taking ownership. Henderson's breakout wasn't luck. It was patience meeting preparation. And now, the rest of the league has to figure out how to stop him. When you think about the Patriots' history, about the discipline and the culture that's defined this team for decades, this kind of performance fits right in. It's not flashy for the sake of being flashy. It's calculated. It's built on trust, on team-first football. You can tell that Mike Vrabel is building that same mentality in this group. No one's out here chasing stats. They're chasing wins. They're chasing growth. They're chasing something bigger than themselves. And with Tavon Henderson leading the charge, the Patriots might just be finding their heartbeat again. Week 10 might go down as the moment the rebuild truly started to turn the corner, when the rookies stopped being rookies and started being difference makers. And if this is just the beginning, then buckle up, Patriots Nation, because it looks like the kids are ready to take over. Now that we've talked about Tavon Henderson's explosion, we got to give some love to the other rookies who showed up big time in this win. Because this game wasn't just about one breakout. It was about an entire rookie class stepping into the spotlight and proving that they belong. It's crazy to think that just a few weeks ago, people were wondering if this draft class had any real playmakers. Now, they're the reason the Patriots are stacking wins and changing the narrative around this team. Let's talk about Kyle Williams. Yeah, I know, one catch. That's it. Just one reception all game. But when that one catch goes for 72 yards and sets up a touchdown, it's not just a catch, it's a statement. And if you've been paying attention, you could see this coming. Williams had been getting open in previous games, but the timing wasn't there. The connection with Drake, May was just off by inches. But this time, everything lined up perfectly. May stepped up, read the coverage, and dropped an absolute dime deep down the field. Williams took off like a rocket, and once he had the ball, there was no catching him. That play was everything Patriots fans have been waiting for from their receiving core. It showed speed, awareness, and confidence, all in one moment. And the best part? It reminded everyone why the front office didn't panic at the trade deadline. There were plenty of rumors swirling, names like Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed getting thrown around. But the coaching staff clearly saw something in Williams that they weren't ready to give up on. And after this performance, you can see why. He's got that burst that stretches defenses, that same gear that can flip the field in seconds. That's something you can't teach. And you know what's wild? Williams actually hit 21.7 miles per hour on that play, the fastest speed recorded by a rookie receiver this year, until Henderson came along and topped it later with 22. That's how fast this young core is. These guys aren't just rookies, they're track stars and shoulder pads. The Patriots finally have weapons who can take the top off a defense, and it completely changes the way opposing teams have to line up against them. Now, switching over to the defense, because let's be honest, that side of the ball doesn't get enough love when the offense finally clicks. But this week, One rookie stood out like he's been in the league for years. Woodson. The guy was everywhere. Every time you looked up, he was in the frame, making a tackle, breaking up a pass, or closing in on the ball. You could feel his presence, that controlled chaos that great safeties bring to a defense. 3 solo tackles, 5 assists, 2 pass breakups. Those are solid numbers. But what doesn't show up on the stat sheet is how many drives he disrupted just by being in the right place at the right time. There was one play in particular that changed the entire game. Late in the fourth quarter, Tampa Bay was driving. Baker Mayfield looking like he might pull off another comeback. He fired one toward the sideline, trying to hit his tight end, but Woodson came flying in like a missile, hit him square, and jarred the ball loose. The crowd gasped, the ball hit the ground, and the Patriots defense took over on downs. That was the play that sealed the win. And that kind of awareness, that kind of fearlessness, that's rare for a rookie. You could tell this guy studies. He reads plays before they happen. He's got that old-school Patriots mentality. Do your job, stay disciplined, and hit like you mean it. That's exactly what this defense needed. For weeks, fans have been calling for reinforcements at safety, saying the depth was thin, but Woodson is making a strong case that he's the future of that position. He's confident, but not cocky, aggressive, but under control. You can see him taking command out there, communicating with the veterans, adjusting the coverage. That's leadership in the making. And speaking of leadership, you can feel how these rookies are changing the energy in the locker room. They're not just filling roles, they're creating momentum. Henderson brings electricity to the offense. Williams adds a deep threat that forces defenses to stay honest. And Woodson brings that spark on defense that turns routine plays into game-changing moments. It's the kind of balance that every successful team needs. The offense and defense feeding off each other. Young players stepping up and making veterans play sharper. Even Drake May looks more comfortable now. With these rookies finding their rhythm, he doesn't have to force throws anymore. He can trust that if he puts the ball in the right spot, someone's going to make a play. You can see it in his body language. Less hesitation, more command. And that chemistry is only going to grow as the season continues. Imagine what this offense looks like when Stevenson is fully healthy, when the line gives May just a little more time, when Henderson and Williams are both on the field together. That's dangerous. The defense, too, is starting to find its identity. You've got young talent like Woodson setting the tone, and veterans feeding off that energy. They're flying to the ball, hitting harder, communicating better. You can see the belief starting to come back. And when a team believes, when they start trusting the system and each other, that's when the magic happens. Look, nobody's saying the Patriots are suddenly Super Bowl contenders again. But for the first time in a long time, there's real hope. You can see the direction. You can see the plan. It's not just about patching holes anymore. It's about building something sustainable. These rookies are the foundation. They're not perfect, but they're learning fast. They're making mistakes at full speed, and that's exactly what you want. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to Patriots Hub and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our New England Patriots. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The NFL world is buzzing with whispers that could shake up the league. Sources suggest that Odell Beckham Jr., one of the most electrifying wide receivers of his generation, may be heading to Foxboro. Patriots fans, long accustomed to strategic draft picks and shrewd acquisitions, are reportedly abuzz with anticipation at the mere possibility of Beckham donning the navy, red, and silver. While nothing has been officially confirmed, insiders close to the team hint that negotiations are more than just casual chatter. Beckham, known for his jaw-dropping catches and flair on and off the field, has always been a player capable of changing the dynamic of any offense he joins. Adding him to a Patriots roster that has been searching for a true game-breaking presence could signal a bold, headline-grabbing move from the organization. The potential fit raises all sorts of questions. How would his explosive style mesh with the Patriots' meticulous game plan? Could he become the missing weapon to reignite a passing attack that has seen its fair share of ups and downs? The rumor has already sparked a frenzy on social media, with fans speculating about possible pairings with current Patriot stars and imagining highlight reels that could redefine the season. Analysts are divided. Some warn that Beckham's high-profile personality could disrupt team chemistry, while others argue that a player of his caliber could elevate the squad to new heights. Historically, New England has been cautious in acquiring marquee names mid-career, but the Beckham speculation suggests a willingness to shake things up. While official statements remain elusive, the whispers alone are enough to ignite debate in sports bars, online forums, and living rooms across the country. Patriots fans are cautiously hopeful, while NFL observers are eagerly watching for any sign that this could be more than just a fleeting rumor. If Beckham does arrive in Foxboro, one thing is certain. The league's landscape and the Patriots' offensive ambitions would suddenly become far more intriguing. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our New England Patriots, be sure to subscribe to Patriots Hub and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.